I'm here with the Sunday edition of Chantay's analysis for the YouTube and Twitter followers. If you are on YouTube, you can follow me on Twitter at I am Shantizi. And if you are on Twitter, you just can follow me as simply just Chantay Berry. My display name is Chantay Berry on Twitter, and my Twitter handle name is I am Shantizi. And on Instagram, I am Shantizi. I will give you my Facebook information, but my Facebook information, I have pastors and them following me, so no. But I am going to start off by COVID, and I'm only going to start off with the United States of America this weekend, which I'm going to state the global number, but I'm just going to focus on the states only. So globally, we have 32 million cases, 32.9, almost 33 million. So we have 969,955 cases of COVID in 188 countries. The death toll is 996,096 around the world. So we're hitting 1 million deaths. I said, if not today, then Monday, around the world is going to be 1 million cases around the world. The cases here at home at the U.S., you are at 7.1. So it's 7,110,781. So it's 7,110,781. The death toll here is 204,750 according to the Johns Hopkins website. So you can go to coronavirus.jhu.edu to see these numbers. They are public knowledge. They're for the public. That's why it's a website, a whole entire website. Now, as for the state numbers, I get these from the New York Times COVID map. You can sign up. It is free, only for COVID-19 information, and the same for the Washington Post. So, California leads off the cases with the most cases at 811,375 cases of COVID. I'm thinking about the world cases. And their death toll in California is 15,607. Texas has 770,539 cases of COVID, and their death toll is 15,831. Florida has 700,556 cases of COVID, and their death toll is 14,031. And yet, the governor wants to move into phase 3 of indoor dining, and you have 700,000 cases. Good job. New York, which was once the epicenter of this, is at 460,340. And keep in mind, we just had an uptick of cases here. So there's clusters out in Williamsburg, which the Rosh Hashanah crap, which I'm like, just because it's Rosh Hashanah, your ass need to be socially distant. It's okay. It's fine. And our death toll, we still got the highest death toll of 32,722. But there's other states about to may surpass this. Who knows? Georgia, 298,321, and the death toll is 6,789. Illinois has 291,270, and the death toll is at 8,859. Arizona has 217,237, and their death toll is at 5,623. North Carolina, which has surpassed New Jersey, is at 207,407, and the death toll is at 3,460. And New Jersey, has 204,641. The death toll is at 16,103. And Tennessee rounds up that top 10 with 190,037, and the death toll is at 2,315. We have no national coordinated response, and that includes no relief. Even though the HEROES Act is sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk. And it's been sitting there for 4.5 months. Yeah. It's October. It's 1 month before the election. 37 days until the election, or 38 days until the election. And there's no sign of these motherfuckers ain't doing shit on the GOP side. But they want to rush in and confirm Amy Coney Barrett for woman to the bench to save Trump's ass. There we go. But who am I? But on to Mr. Trump. Hi, Jan. Keep in mind, Jan and I is going to do a live next Sunday. I think we should. I'll DM you, Jan. But anyway, hey. So Trump taxes. It's finally in the hands of journalists. I mean, what took so fucking long? What took so motherfucking long for y'all? But according to the NBC News from the New York Times, because they got the handle of it, where is it? NBC News. Yeah, I'm about to get into the specifics of that. Okay. No problem, Jan. Okay. Trump's taxes. I'm going to read the article. Okay, I was just in NBC News. I was just getting ready to read it, and it was on my iPad. Oh, you know what? I'm better off just looking at it online. But he paid $750. Literally $750 in taxes. And I pay way more than that. My check where I get withheld at when I was working was $600 every pay period. My gross for my paycheck, my gross was almost $2,200 every pay period. So basically in the article, I'm just going to sum it up. Trump accepted $72.9 million in taxes and tax refund. He has $300 million in loans. Let me say it again. 72.9 million. Hey, 72.9 million in tax refunds, which could result for him to pay $100 million. That's tax fraud. $300 million in loans. Let me find more piece of this article so I can read how much money, literally, your man's is all the way popped. Like, I knew it. If you're a New Yorker or you're from New Jersey, you already know that Trump has been popped for years. Trump has done so much things with other businesses. Like, he's lucky to still have his life. Like, life preservation. So let me just read this. Trump only paid $750 in federal tax income the year he won the residency. I don't say the presidency because he doesn't deserve that shit. And during the first year in his office, the Times, which it also plans to publish additional stories based on the documents, reported that Trump has not paid any taxes in the 10 of the last past 15 years, mostly because he reported significant losses. Duh! The other New Yorker on here, I know he's watching Lift Every Voice. You can follow him. And he's actually a conservative, which I'm surprised I got conservatives following me because I thought they don't like my ass. Because I'll be dragging some of them because some of them are complicit. But I appreciate some of the ones that do speak the fuck out. Trump's been popped for so many years. Trump was never as rich as Michael Bloomberg. And y'all know, people don't know, I don't like Michael Bloomberg, okay? I don't like his ass at all. Never have. He's a flip-flopping little dwarf ass-looking motherfucker. But I don't like him neither. But he has more money than Donald Trump. The Vanderbilts, the Rockefellers, those are big families. I can't even name all the rich families in New York, but there's so many, like, and literally in my fucking head. Thank you. Literally in my head, like, I don't know. Like, there's so many rich families in New York that's richer than Donald Trump. Some of their children are socialites. You got the guy from Johnson & Johnson who lives in New Jersey, richer than Donald Trump. It's reported that Trump is facing a decade-long Internal Revenue Service audit over a $72.9 million tax refund he received that could end up costing him more than $100 million. Duh. If you don't know that, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? The Times also reported that Trump has more than $300 million in loans due within the next few years, and he is personally responsible for repaying. Trump has a problem with paying people. Like, your mans have a problem with paying people he's done business with. He is a spoiled trust fund baby from Forest Hill, Queens. The same Forest Hill, Queens that Peter King is from. The same, which I don't like him really too much neither, because he's been silent and complicit within his residency. The same Forest Hills that Governor Andrew Cuomo's from, and his brother Christopher. There's a lot of politicians from that area. And even some that I don't like are better men than Trump will ever be in a day in his life. The tax documents cover more than 2 decades, including some of his time as the resident. I don't say the president, the resident, because he occupies there. But they do not include his returns from 2018 and 2019. NBC News has not seen or verified any documents reported by the Times. Trump said Sunday that the story was totally fake news and made up, although he actually acknowledged that he didn't know anything about the story in the head of its publication, which came moments before his news conference began, which NBC cut that shit off because that motherfucker started lying and started attacking the media. And it was like, we don't got time for this shit. No, say something substantive. Asked about the report that he paid just $750 in federal tax in 2016 and 2017, Trump said a lot of money in state taxes. Okay. Again, I'm a New Yorker, like Donald Trump. Forest Hills is like a hub in Howard Beach. Facts. Okay. I'm a New Yorker. For those who are in New York, that live in New York City particularly, we got federal taxes, New York state taxes, and New York City taxes. My taxes are high. When I was working, and I made in the 50s, I got taxed out of my wazoo ass. And the only reason why I got a good chunk of tax refunds back, like close to $2,000, because of my federal loans from school that I actually have a hard time paying back. that this motherfucker has loans that's amount to $300 million and he can't fucking pay them back. That's how you can tell his ass is broke. The whole thing with Deutsche Bank, they being investigated, you know. But my little black ass is broke and still gotta pay money. This motherfucker signed a bill, a whole entire fucking bill, okay, of taxing people like me and you, but the rich, he's saving their asses. His friends, because they don't like his dumb ass, because they feel like he's a fraud, because he is a fraud. He always been a fraud. And I'm like, New Yorkers and New Jersey folks is looking like, yo, like, why this information is starting to come out now? We told y'all motherfuckers that this nigga is a fraud. And I say that loosely because he's a bum. He's a man of low-class mentality. He's been living off credit for years. My father said, folks that live on credit, you be careful with them because you don't want to be living off credit. My father's a Harlem Night like I am a Harlem Night. We was talking about Donald Trump today, how his next thing, which I heard in the podcast, Lift Every Voice, he's a conservative, but he hates Donald Trump, said the same thing my father said. His last plan of attack is to confirm Amy Coney Barrett to save him from more scrutiny. But his shit is about to be over. The reason why he ran for office is because he owes so much money. He was being investigated by Eric Schneiderman. The working class and the middle class are paying a lot of taxes. Yeah, they've been fined for money laundering. And you know, we found out that the North Korea has been money laundering here, and Donald Trump ain't saying shit about that. Because he part of that shit too. I mean, there was a building, I believe there was an article, I emailed it to myself, like back in 2010, and there was an apartment building in Cedric Avenue, because he was supposed to do some deal in the Bronx, the west side of the Bronx. And I guess he was to do this deal with this guy. I guess Donald Trump backed out for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe because he wasn't getting the cut that he was wanted to get. And so, but the people still had to move out of their apartment building. Absolutely. And I think Russia got some shit on him too. But what, even though I don't like Comey, but he got some shit on him where he was with prostitutes. I believe that shit. Donald Trump is a whole entire asshole with a little dick. With a little dick. His dick ain't potent. Even though he got 5 kids, he probably had to fuck hard to get those 5 kids. And now I don't like to talk about people's sex life, but I don't like Donald Trump. I never had. And not because he was in office. I never liked this man. If you're from New York, he's not a friend to people. And it's not just the Central Park 5. He has done shit in the 70s and the 80s with the mob. Like I said, the mob was after that ass. Crime Family's ready to kill that motherfucking ass. And his father saved him. My father said Trump was out here fucking with the mob. Like he was down with the mob. You not about that life. You not about that life, Donald Trump. You never was. Your ass grew over in privileged Forest Hills, Queens. Forest Hills is a nice area. Don't get me wrong. Forest Hills is beautiful. The houses are beautiful there. But Trump was a whole ass privileged spoiled brat. Everybody writing a book about him, writing a book about Donald Trump. Like New Yorkers, we knew. We knew about your ass. From Judge Street. Why is everybody like, oh my God, I'm shocked, I did not know. No, I knew. I knew about you, my mans. I already knew. Like, He's a whole entire fraud. Oh, thank you, but the office is not for me. I'm too radical with it. I'm too street with it, too hood for it. And I'm not even a street kid, but I got some street credibility. I am a New Yorker, for crying out loud. But I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But Trump's a fraud. He's a bum. A straight up bum. A broke ass bum. But let me go ahead. Let me read more of this article because this article is interesting. In response to the report, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, a Brooklynite from New York, tweeted to raise your hand if you pay more in federal taxes income than President Trump. I don't even know why I said that out of my mouth, but that was a quote because y'all know I never call him president of nothing. Rep. Richard E. Neal from Massachusetts, chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, said in a statement that Trump has gamed the tax code in his advantage and used legal rights to delay or avoid paying what he owes. That's true. All the way true. That's why he was such in a rush to pass that funky ass tax bill that some conservatives even said, no, this is bad. They're good on financial messaging, but no, this is bad. That's how conservatives feel. Yep, like Patrick Lynch's dusty ass. Oh, I'm going to tear his ass up too. Don't worry. I'm going to get Patrick Lynch. If not in this live, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get that nasty looking drunken piece of shit ass. I'm going to get him. Nancy Pelosi said in a statement, it's a sign of Trump's disdain for America's working families that he spent years abusing the tax code while passing a GOP tax scam, because it's true, for the rich and that gets 83% of the benefits of the wealthiest 1%. And keep in mind, some conservatives, like I said, hated this bill. They rallied against this bill. They said this bill does not help businesses. Traditional conservatives were not down with this shit. Elected GOP people were, but not traditional conservatives. No. Trump gained pledge to make the taxes public after the completion of the IRS audit, which he said it was set for years and was not making the documents public. I mean, he fought people in court for crying out loud. Cy Vance just got like access to his fucking taxes because the Supreme Court gave him that taxes. And guess who was part of that ruling? Brett Kavanaugh and Neil Gorsuch, his two appointees. He tried to flip it and say, I'm not mad at them, when he was really mad. He was big mad. He was in New York, we said he was dumb tight. OD mad. OD mad. Because he was. Boosted by a substantial increase in income to his celebrity, the Times reported that 11 years after The Apprentice premiered, Trump went on a spending spree unseen for days before the demise of the finances of the early 90s. But the Times said the documents revealed that the new ventures and acquisitions contribute to a drag on his bottom line rather than an increase. Like Trump Steaks, Trump University, what is it? What else? Trump Casinos. Yeah. You had to borrow money. And a statement from NBC News, the Trump Organization lawyer Alan Gerton said the story was riddled with gross inaccuracies. No. It's true. Why you spent so many years in court to hide your fucking taxes? You think nobody wasn't going to get a hold of that shit? Every other presidential candidate, I believe, since Jimmy Carter or Nixon, have released their tax returns. Even presidents I couldn't stand released their tax returns. Donald Trump was the only one in recent years has not released his tax returns. Jimmy Carter sold his peanut farm, for crying out loud. His family peanut farm. And while the Times reported that Trump did not pay income taxes for 7 years, he did not pay other forms of federal taxes, including Medicare, Social Security, and alternative minimum tax. But he wanted to do a payroll tax cut, which cuts into Medicare and Social Security. My father gets Social Security. Motherfucker, you can't do that shit. The fuck is wrong with you? Trump University was a scam and was sued, and Trump had to pay to settle that case. Duh. Eric Schneiderman was on that ass. But Pam Bondi didn't do that shit. Pam Bondi gonna get it. Once he lose, Pam Bondi gonna be dragged, honey. Gonna drag her ass. Lily drag her ass. Like, Lily drag her down the street. But Eric Schneiderman, before, he left, he was investigating Trump for years. And now that Tish James is the AG, it's going to be on and popping. The Times has also previously reported about Trump's tax information having obtained such documents, although far fewer earlier in Trump's residency. I say residency. I try to fix my mouth. She made $25,000 on that deal. Yeah, Pam Bondi sure did. Trump has waged a cost-to-cost legal battle through his residency in hoping of keeping the tax information hidden from the public. Trump is the only president in the last 40 years to have withheld his taxes from the public. No law requires presidents to do so, but it's the honorable thing to do. Joe Biden just released 21 years of his tax returns during the primaries. And you could tell he didn't make as much money as the cosplay socialist named Bernie Sanders. Although he said he would release the information ahead of the 2016 election, he has since repeatedly cited IRS audits as a rationale for continuing to withhold the records. This summer, Trump assailed a pair of Supreme Court rulings pertaining to his personal financial records, calling them not fair, although they were not clear-cut losses for the residents. So I read that whole article. You can read it yourself. If you got Apple, you know that the Apple News, you got this, you got that. So, once again, New Yorkers like me warned you, and Lift Every Voice, we warned you. Whether you were Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, we warned you. Northern New Jersey people warned you. People from Southern Connecticut warned you. And Hillary Clinton even warned you. But the Rust Belt people, not all of you, those who wanted to see white power again, and some folks in the South, particularly the white people, you all believed the con man himself. When I did businesses with people, and 4 years later, this stuff come up. But I blame the media. Mainstream media. And yeah, the 94% of black women warned them too. You motherfuckers, and mostly in the mainstream, not all of you, but some of you, gave this man free airtime to say any kind of bullshit he was saying, lying and shit. While native New Yorkers like me was telling your ass so about this man. My allergies is bothering me. And yet, You still proceeded to broadcast his long, lying speeches. And Hillary, who was the senator of New York for 8 years, knew his bullshit. Yes, he came to her wedding, but he still disrespected her. And she like, where does disrespect came from? Like, he OD disrespected her. And they believe the Russian lies and the Trump lies tied into the Russian lies. So for those folks who voted for him, should I feel pity? Because I keep wrestling that all the time. Because I know I can be that nasty ass bitch. That could be like, I don't feel bad for them. Fuck y'all. You're deplorable ass motherfuckers. But at this point, you still support a liar and a broke motherfucker? Because I always knew he was broke. But I'm happy to say that he's broke. You're deplorable. You're deplorable? Deplorable, 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 deplorable. That's what the fuck you are. Because you believe a whole lying ass motherfucker. So therefore, fuck y'all deplorable ass motherfuckers. And that includes the black generals. Also known as the black deputies. The black generals that tap dance for his ass. Like Daffy Duck. Like a whole mystery ass show. And I'm going to drop some names. Diamond and Silk. Melissa Tate. Angela Staten King. Who she's dressed like Miss Cleo in one of her pictures. Let's see. Terrence K. Williams. Brandon Tatum. We can't forget the Queen Mother, Candace Owens. We can't forget. Fried dyed hair. Oh, the Surgeon General too, but I'm talking about the pundits that tap dance for that ass. Oh yeah, I forgot about, sniff butt ass Paris Denard. Can't forget. And, we can't forget Daniel Cameron. Even though I try not to tie politicians in it, but Daniel Cameron, his ashy looking ass. He looked like he ain't had no Vaseline on during that press conference. Like somebody should have gave him like a thing of Vaseline just to put on real quick before he came on in. Instead, they got him looking all ashy and shit. He may brushed his waves a little bit, but his face was still motherfucking ashy. Cecil Winans, I'm pissed with her too. But all those that's tap dancing, those generals, yeah. You guys are deplorable as well. But, as I said before, we're facing 5 crises. Facing so much shit going on. Like, we're facing a global pandemic resulting into financial recession, possibly, hopefully not, a financial depression. We're facing climate change. So let's repeat this. We're facing a global pandemic resulting into a financial recession, hopefully not a depression. Climate change. With the wildfires, with the rising sea levels, with the unexpected tornadoes, snowstorms in different months, polar vortexes and shit. And the warming weather. We're dealing with racial reckoning. We're still dealing with it. Daniel Cameron reminded us that I am the George Wallace and the Bull Connor and the blackface in the 21st century. And now we're dealing with a constitutional crisis where he doesn't want to accept the results in the election, and RBG is dead. And this chick is going to ram through. They're going to ram this chick through in the Supreme Court, and she may strike the ACA down. and the abortion deal. She's gonna. I don't have no faith in this shit. And Trump is gonna lose because of the Supreme Court thing. Oh, he's destined to lose. But as Democrats, whether you're a liberal Democrat, a progressive Democrat, a moderate Democrat, or even a conservative Democrat, because there are conservative Democrats in the party. Our party's a big ass wide, Jen. We have to come together to beat the man. Yeah, she's deplorable. But we have to beat this man who is going to ruin the democracy for years to come. We have to make sure Biden and Harris is elected. And I encourage folks to research Biden and Harris, Joe Biden's website.com. Because the plan to combat COVID is cohesive. The plan to reopen schools during COVID is cohesive. There's $30 million he wants to invest just with, the PPE in the schools alone and all other necessities that K through 12 need. The Lift Every Voice plan is good with Black home ownership. I got to read more on that. There's other things that he wants to do, and we have to vote. We even have to tell people about, Biden and Harris plan. You can do it by phone and volunteer, or you could just donate, right? I donate because sometimes I don't have time to volunteer because of schoolwork, and there's a lot of schoolwork I have to do. So I donate my money, and I'm still waiting on my damn t-shirt. But I am going to be donating this week, and I meant to donate this week, so I'm going to donate. We donate last week, so I'm going to donate this week. I donate between $5 to $10. You can donate any amount. Any little will help them to make sure they elected. Have real life conversations with your family. I talked to my mom and dad about Biden and Harris plan, and I'm researching. And it's yo, this COVID plan is dope. Even though we're going to be wearing masks for the next 3 months, but you know what? We should have been wearing them from 4 to 6 weeks straight. But now we're going to have to wear them up until probably 2022. It's real in the field. We have no national coordinated plan. Other countries, other presidents, prime ministers have locked down their country to combat COVID. The United States did not cohesively shut the country down. Their states have did lockdowns, like Governor Cuomo, Governor Newsom. Everybody took the lead of Governor Newsom, but then Governor Newsom, he surpassed New York about almost more than 400,000 cases. So that's where we are in terms of COVID. But until then, folks, you have a great night.